It was the most challenging assignment of my career, and I don't mind telling you, I was scared to death. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, that assignment where your manager hands you a project and it has disaster written all over it, and he smiles and says, "It's an opportunity." Well, at the time I was working in a small facility, and I was listening to my manager talk about how he was going to re-engineer the production line. And I'm actually kind of thinking, well, I don't care. I really don't, I'm wondering why he's telling me this, because the truth is it would not impact the training that we do for the employees. So I'm kind of sitting there wondering why he's telling me. And all of a sudden, he dropped the bomb. He said, "Stephanie, I don't want to send anyone home. So that means I need you to figure out what we're going to do with 300 people on 2 shifts for 3 days." I nearly had a heart attack. Now, in another facility, this might not have been a big deal. This was a very small facility. We had at most maybe 3 rooms that could seat 30 people. And my entire staff consisted of me, a secretary, and 2 trainers, one of whom was brand new. So now I'm walking back to my office. I'm trying to decide if this would be a good time to tender my resignation. And I decided, we're going to go for it. I ran into Rosa, my lead trainer. She said, "You look terrible." I want to say thanks. She said, "You look terrible. What's the matter?" And I told her what the situation was, and she looked at me for a minute and she said, "What are we going to do with all those people at the same time?" Now, I wanted to tell her something really intelligent. The truth is, all I could say was, "I got nothing. I have no idea." But it was the end of the day, and I said, "Why don't we go home and think about it overnight, and tomorrow we'll get together, we'll all brainstorm, we'll come up with something wonderful." Then I went to my office, and I did some work that I knew that I would not get to tomorrow. Sometime around 7, I decided it was time for me to go home. So I came down the stairs, and I was walking past the training room, and I heard voices in the training room. And I poked my head around the corner, and there were both trainers and my secretary at 7 o'clock at night. They had flip charts on 3 walls. And I looked at them, I said, "What are you guys doing?" They said, "We're figuring out what to do with 300 people on 2 shifts for 3 days. I said, "You don't have to do that right now." But Mary said, "If we don't do it tonight, I'm not going to get any sleep." So I said, "How can I help?" Put down all my stuff, said, "How can I help?" They looked at each other for a minute and they said, "Order pizza." So I ordered the pizza, and we were there until 11 o'clock that night. But when they finished, we had the most amazing plan. It involved hiring additional trainers on contract. It involved bringing in Greyhound buses and sending people to customer site visits and to our upline plant. And it was an amazing plan. And I was really pleased. We had 2 weeks to pull it together. And when that time came, the 4 of us worked 16-hour days with no break. And at the end of the 16-hour days, I remember on the 3rd day, I was sitting with my feet up, mostly because I didn't think I could walk out to the car. And I looked at them and I said, "That was amazing." And Rosa looked at me and she said, "We would never let you down." And I looked at them and I said, "I love you guys. You totally rock." Now, I don't have to tell you guys, I don't think you buy that kind of loyalty with a paycheck. Am I right?